boys and girls of the internet. Today is Wednesday, June 6, 2018. This will be vlog number 156. And as of recently, I've been kind of deciding what I'm going to do with how I'm going to spend some money. And mostly it's because of I kind of want to give myself a pretty nice birthday present, but something I want to use for myself. I'm turning 39 in a couple weeks. I kind of want to treat myself. I believe I narrowed myself down on what I kind of am looking for. I mentioned before that I was looking at 3D printers. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, where am I going to put it? That's the biggest thing. There's places in my house I can put it. That's fine. But it's not going to be ideal, should I say. So maybe I'll hold off on a 3D printer. It's not that important to get. It'll be fun to have, but right now I've been, so busy with all kinds of other things. I don't really need another, this would be like an additional hobby on top of things that I'm already doing, which would be cool, but I don't really need it right now. The lens that I was thinking about getting, again, I will really love it, but only when I'm making money at photography am I going to, drop that kind of money on the lens. Road trip, doesn't look like it's going to happen. Kind of not really in a mood for a road trip. Summertime, it's hot. I don't really feel like going anywhere. I do, however, think in a couple weeks, probably the week of my birthday, I want to take some time off work and just have a staycation. I don't know. So it narrows down to a new TV. I'm really leaning towards a new TV. That's what I'm strongly leaning towards right now. In fact, I started to do a lot more research on TVs. Started looking at some online reviews and even watching some user reviews, some people who actually own the products. You look at it like normal by the numbers reviews is one thing, but hearing people's user experience with certain products, that's worth its weight in gold, but like anything, I like to do a lot of research before I make any substantial purchase, especially with something with technology, something that you're going to have for a number of years. You're going to want to make the right decision. You don't just buy something willy-nilly. That's the way I've always been doing it, and it's worked pretty well for me so far. Now, granted, sometimes doing a lot of research can kind of confuse things, and the time it takes you to do the research, if you do it over a span of weeks, or even in some instances that I've done in the past, months, by the time you've decided on something else has come out, or whatever you were looking at, maybe something that was better that you didn't look at became cheaper in your price range of what you're looking at and stuff. Like, for example, if I were to get a TV, I don't want to spend a shitload of money. I mean, yeah, I could go and get the biggest and the best TV. That's not what I'm after right now. I'm probably going to look to spend around $500, if not less than $500, which right now there are really good selections from Bright Sun for 4K Ultra HD televisions for around $500 or less. Some of them even have advanced features like HDR, which that's one of the things I'm really looking for. So there's a couple of things I'm looking for in a TV. If you watch this, let me know your opinion on what would be good for me. So I want something around the 50-inch range, 50 to 55 inches. I was looking at some TVs as low as 43 inches. That might be a little bit too small for me. Because right now, I have a 32-inch Vizio TV. And it's really small. I mean, it's a decent size if you're up close to it. But it's pretty small. So going to only like a 43-inch, I don't think that'd be substantially big enough to really warrant that, a size increase. But 50 to 55 inches would be ideal. I don't want to go anything bigger than that because that's ridiculous. And plus, a lot of TVs I look at now, like I gotta factor in the design of the TV, because I'm not gonna wall mount it. It's gonna be on my TV stand. My TV stand is not very wide. A lot of TVs coming out now have the stand for it like feet on the very ends of the TV. There's like nothing in the middle. It doesn't have like a central stand on the TVs. I don't know what the reasoning for the design decision is. I don't know if it's more stable. But for people who have a limited TV stand, width-wise, you're kind of limited. So I'm going to have to do some measurements and see what works best. There are a couple of TV manufacturers out there that do make their TVs with a central stand. One I was looking at in particular, Sony, I think it's like a X690E or something. That has a stand in the middle, but that's not going to be my main factor, of course. I'm not going to base my decision based off something as minuscule as a stand. That's but that is one minor factor that I'll consider. Of course, another one, like I mentioned, HDR. As I understand through my research, there's a lot of protocols of HDR out there that different TV manufacturers support and different media support is for. Like some was like Dolby HDR, one is HDR 10, and I'm gonna have to do some more research on that to figure out what is what. Some works with others, some are compatible across the board, some are very limited. Added to that, you want features. Now, there's a lot of I can go with like an expensive TV and get like all the features, but I'm trying to get as many features as I can for the lowest dollar for a 50-inch or so TV. So yeah, I'm combing a needle through the haystack. I'm looking for a needle in a haystack. So, and more as more time goes on, a lot of these features get put into these lower end TVs. So, one of the things that is really good that I found in my research is make sure the TV has what's called local dimming functionality, which means that instead of just having a LED backlight around the edges of the screen, it has zones in the TV, like behind the panel, that can dim, which means that you'll get better contrast, better blacks, and just overall better picture. There's a couple of TVs out there that you can get for a decent price that has that. There's a Vizio model I'm looking at that has that as well. Another factor on top of all that I'm looking for is some basic things, like, for example, I want at least 3 HDMI ports on it. Ideally 4 ports, because I want to be able to make sure that all my things I have connected can be connected. And I noticed a lot of low-end TVs kind of skimpy on ports. Like I know right now of the big, TV manufacturers out there, Samsung is really huge. When people think, good televisions, they think Samsung, and they're everywhere, and they are amazing. They do make amazing TVs. However, their lower end models, they really skimp you on port functionality. Like, I've seen some that are like, they give you 2 HDMIs. So that's kind of shitty. Also, just for legacy purposes, I need a TV that has component input. I can remember component is a 3 color analog input and 2 audio. So it's like a 5 cable analog input. Now, to tell you the truth, the things I need component for, I haven't used in a long time. But I want to be able to make sure that I can use them if I need to. There are some TVs that, despite being 4K and really high end, and all super digital and all that, they put the legacy connectors on there. They have component on there. So I think for now I'm pretty safe with assuming I can find a component TV if I component inputs on the TV if I want to. That being said, of course, another feature I want is not too necessary. Most TVs have them now, are like smart features. Give to Netflix and Hulu and all that. But you also kind of want something that has a decent interface. My Vizio right now, it was cool at the time, and I was like, yeah, I can just hit a button and Netflix comes up. It's not that easy. It's really slow. It's laggy. I want something that has something decently modern. LG makes a really good smart interface. They use WebOS, which, if you remember correctly, that's basically from Palm. If you remember WebOS, I believe that's what it was. But LG bought them out a long time ago just for their OS. But their interface is pretty good, it's sleek, and I heard it's really fast. I don't know. I would like to maybe go to Best Buy and just kind of like play around with the smart features that I can, just to kind of see the capability of them, make sure they're not like laggy. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything that I'm also looking for. But I will mention though that when I looked at a Sony, the only thing that a lot of people were saying that were kind of negative about it is that normally it should be a really good TV on paper, but in reality it's not. They said the HDR on it sucks. It's not very bright. Doesn't have any local dimming. And that, what was the other thing they mentioned? It has a lot of ghosting. That's something, the refresh rate, the latency on it. And it has, when things like have motion, you get all like blurring and stuff, and that's kind of shitty. Especially if you want to play games on it, which I will be doing a lot of. So I got all the factors to consider. I want to make sure they have decent size, 50-inch at least 3 HDMI ports. Could be 4K, of course. Decent HDR functionality, component input, and preferably a local dimming functionality. So that's about 5 or 6 features that I really need to narrow things down to, and of course, price. If it's a little more than $500, that's fine. But I'll wait. I'll weigh the cost benefits. Of course, that's one of the major things that you have to kind of look at when you're considering a purchase like this. So let me know what y'all think. That's kind of where my mind is going right now. From the initial first few days of research, I'm looking at either a Sony, an LG, or Vizio. Another brand that people mention that is really coming up is this brand called TCL. I'm kind of apprehensive about it because it's like a Chinese brand. I don't know too much about them, but they're they've been starting to blow up everywhere. They're starting to really not blow up, not explode, but they're not. Their market is growing really big because they're make good. Apparently, they make really good panels for really cheap. So I don't know. I'll have to maybe factor that in too. But I like to try to stay with Vizio. Buy American. But if I had to go with a Chinese brand, I don't know. Again, that's my thoughts right now. Let me know what y'all think. For now, I'll talk to y'all later. Everybody have a good day. I love you.